Johannes Gutenberg, born in Mainz, Germany, around 1400, is renowned as the German inventor and craftsman who introduced the movable-type printing press to the Western world and transformed the communication landscape of Europe in the mid-15th century. His revolutionary innovation, operational by 1450, profoundly reshaped human history by democratizing access to knowledge and initiating an information revolution. Before Gutenberg, books were painstakingly hand-copied or produced using labor-intensive woodblock printing, rendering them expensive and scarce, thereby restricting knowledge to a privileged few. Gutenberg's press enabled the mass production of texts at significantly lower costs, increasing their availability and fostering widespread literacy across Europe. Gutenberg, whose full name was Johannes Gänsfleisch, zur Laden zum Gutenberg, descended from a patrician-artisan family in Mainz. His father, Friele Gänsfleisch zur Laden, was a patrician and merchant, likely in the cloth trade. Friele later served among the master of the accounts for the city and was a member of a minting house cooperative. In 1386, Friele married his second wife, Else Wührich, the daughter of a shopkeeper. Gutenberg was born between 1393 and 1406. Scholars conventionally place the date around 1400. Family ties to the local mint helped him receive foundational training as a goldsmith, gem cutter, and metallurgist, skills that would prove instrumental to his later inventions. Following civic conflicts in Mainz, the young craftsman relocated to Strasbourg, where he resided from 1434 to 1444. During this period, he engaged in various ventures, including the serial production of polished metal mirrors for pilgrims visiting Aachen. A lawsuit in 1439 related to these ventures provides the earliest documentary evidence of his presence in Strasbourg and hints at his secret experiments with new technical processes, possibly early forms of printing involving a wooden press, lead, and molds. Upon his return to Mainz by 1448, Gutenberg's printing press became operational. His genius lay in synthesizing and perfecting several key technologies. These included mass production of movable type. Each character was cast as a separate, reusable piece, a critical improvement over woodblock printing. Oil-based ink. He developed a new ink, primarily carbon with high metallic content, copper, lead, titanium, specifically designed to adhere effectively to metal type and rag paper sheets, superior to traditional water-based inks. Adjustable hand mold. This was his most crucial invention, allowing for the rapid, consistent, and precise casting of thousands of identical characters with adjustable widths. It enabled the production of uniform, rectangular metal letters in reverse relief, each with exact dimensions and height. Type metal alloy. Gutenberg formulated a durable mixture of lead, tin, and antimony. This alloy had a low melting point for faster and more economical casting, flowed well, and expanded slightly upon cooling, ensuring sharp and accurate reproductions. Wooden printing press. He adapted existing agricultural screw presses, like those used at wine and olive mills, to deliver uniform pressure, page after page. Together, these elements yielded unparalleled speed and accuracy, making mass production of texts economically viable for the first time in Europe. While movable type had been developed in China by Bai Sheng around 1040 AD using ceramic materials, and Korea using metal type by 1377, Gutenberg's system in Europe, with its fewer alphabetic characters and innovative tools like the hand mold, was far more practical for mass production. Gutenberg's most famous achievement was the 42-line Bible, also known as the Mazarin Bible, or B42, an edition of the Latin Vulgate printed in Mainz between 1454 and 1455. Early in the printing process, the number of lines per page was increased from 40 to 42 to save paper. It was the first major book printed in Europe using movable type. To fund this ambitious project, Gutenberg secured a substantial 800 guilder loan from Johann Fust, a wealthy financier beginning around 1450. Roughly 180 copies, 150 on paper and 30 on vellum, were produced, each sold unbound so buyers could add hand illumination that mimicked manuscript luxury. The Bible's clarity, consistency, and typographic elegance instantly advertised the commercial promise of movable type. Success bred conflict. In November 1455, Fust sued Gutenberg, claiming misuse of funds and demanding repayment of 2,026 guilders for principal and interest. The Helmersberger notarial instrument records a judgment favoring Fust, who subsequently seized Gutenberg's printing workshop and much of his printed Bibles. Fust, along with Peter Schöffer, his son-in-law and Gutenberg's former foreman, used Gutenberg's equipment to establish Europe's first profitable press business. Their first publication, the 1457 Psalter, was the first book to explicitly announce the names of its makers and the date of production. Despite his severe financial setbacks, Gutenberg likely continued printing smaller works, such as the Catholicon dictionary, on surviving presses through the 1460s. His achievements were finally acknowledged in 1465, when Archbishop Adolf von Nassau granted him the title of Hofmann, courtier status, providing a pension and various privileges, including an annual allowance of grain, wine, and clothing in recognition of our devoted and beloved servant. Johannes Gutenberg died in Mainz in early 1468. He was likely buried in the Franciscan church near his birthplace, but the exact location of his grave is now lost due to subsequent destruction of the church and cemetery. Gutenberg never personally profited significantly from his groundbreaking invention and died in relative obscurity. His fame is entirely posthumous, with no contemporary portraits existing. Nevertheless, Gutenberg's legacy is immense. Within 50 years of Gutenberg's press, over 1,000 print shops dotted Europe, producing an estimated 10 million volumes that democratized access to scripture, classical texts, and new scientific ideas. Cheap pamphlets propelled Luther's 95 Theses across the continent, while standardized books fostered vernacular literacy and national languages. Gutenberg's press slashed the cost and time of book production, fueling major historical movements such as the Renaissance, the Protestant Reformation, the Enlightenment, and the Scientific Revolution by enabling the widespread dissemination of ideas and information. It led to increased literacy rates, the standardization of languages, and a shift from localized knowledge to a more universally accessible culture of print. The Gutenberg Museum in Mainz stands as a testament to his enduring impact on civilization. Time magazine hailed the press as the most important invention of the second millennium, and Gutenberg himself as its man of the millennium, underscoring how a goldsmith's workshop in Mainz ignited the modern information age.